review the information, the same information that the ARGU manager has reviewed and what IPRs reviewed and what was investigated by the internal affairs. You're able to provide your statement and you can discuss the supporting documents that you brought, but preparing until we should have it. That's the information that should be considered.
It's on the internet, I apologize. It's on the internet. Yes. Chair, what's the contention? See, I'm still in the dark about which version they have and why something that was in effect, effective December 2015, not scheduled to be revised till December 2014, would not have been in place on September 17th, 2014, 3 months before the revision date. Should have been already policy for 10 months at that point. It was an executive order dated December 13th, 2013. I have a copy on the internet.
I don't know the answer to that question. I will just refer to what Ms. Ben Albert has recently said about evidence at this hearing.
Chair, like to view it?
I have to go on what's in the documents that I was given. And it does have Directive 1051.00 for CASER and yeah, it's like a 5-6 page policy.
And Chair, is there a date on the document that you folks have in your alignment? Because that would settle the question.
Chair, if mine has a date and that one doesn't,
at this point, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do.
Can somebody at the city confirm on this big public room that we were looking at the directive that was in effect? Are people 100% confident? I don't have any issue with the directive that we reviewed. Is there any question that we're using the wrong directive? I understand that the appellant has one that he believes was in effect, and I think we all respect that, but a lot of people have looked at this. Is there any doubt that we're looking at the wrong one by people at the city? Internal Affairs, you have
No.
Thank you.
And just, I guess, as a quick point of order, it seems, or I don't know if it's appropriate point of order, this does seem like this becomes hard now with a lot of directives coming up to review. So maybe for the ones in our binders having the date, because I think what's complicated is we have to use the policy that was in effect at the time of the event. And our resource is what is provided to us, so the legal counsel that kind of tells us of the date is what we will follow.
And I believe that's an issue later after we vote in terms of recommendations or policies, one thing we might like to see happen in the future. I'm going to move on.
Chair, I know you said to move on. Can I simply read what is on the city's website regarding Directive 1051 and different versions of their dates?
Mike, you gotta go with this.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I mean, all right. If you'd like to look at it, I can show it to you later.
I would.
We need to say it.
Okay. Is there...
So the chief is sitting there telling him what he's got. He can only go by what's in the file.
Because it should be the directive that was in place when the event happened. And it could have, and given how long ago it happened, it could have been revised by
Chair,
since
I
then.
found this on the internet. It's got the date, it's got Chief Reese's signature on it. It's got when it was effective, it's got when it was scheduled to be revised. I have a contention with a 5-page document that is actually 8 pages. The last page blank, there's 7 of them. I've got the 7 right here.
Can you compare?
he has and what he has?
It's got a date on it. It's got Chief Reese's signature.
Oh, no, we can't.
I don't know what you're looking for. Whether it be their internet, I don't care.
This is it. They're denying obvious fact. They're making up fantasy. He's got the evidence. He's saying that. This is it. And the police are saying, we don't care because what's in the file legally must be followed. And they don't care whether there's any date on the one in the file, whether that's the real one in the file. They don't care.
Going along with the ask you to, but I think that there is some serious concern that we're not looking at the policy in effect. And I understand that you're looking at the current website. Does it confirm what you said earlier, which is that the policy that was used in this case was in effect at the time of the incident?
As I read the history, yes.
Okay, how long would it take to read the history out loud of a lot of stuff?
Well, the current version of 1051, the last revision was effective December 4th, 2014. The 6th revision was effective January 1st, 2014. That's what is on the, right in there. When the appellant is talking about like 7.4.1.2, those are from recent changes to our directives that are in a completely different format.
Is that because of the DOJ?
What IA does is they go back to the time of the event and they keep track of what the directives were on that day and they pull them. I believe that he has a recent version that was not in effect.
Okay,
Chair, he just gave you the date. He's got the recent one. I've got the one that was in effect when this happened. I don't know, it's dates. It's not a mathematical equation, it's dates. He's got the one that's in place now. I've got the one that was in place at that point.
and we have the ones that were in place at that point.
I want
So we're gonna move
No,
on.
you do not. It was 7 pages and it was signed by Chief Reese on December 13th, 2013.
I'm gonna move on.
Is this bureaucracy?
So what they're basically sitting there saying is that the policy that was in effect doesn't mean anything. It's what's happening now.
Okay,
Chair, I did present these documents all to the IPR yesterday. They had the advantage of a day's lead time. I put a cover letter and a glossary of all the included documents. I included that document. They told me they would not accept them. You gave me back this packet right here with my business cards that I gave to them. They didn't bother to call me. They didn't bother to advance notice me.
and I can hear your frustration in that.
But you realize the document that they don't want to accept is the document we're now talking about.
I don't know.
Can I just ask a question real quick?
Go ahead.
Did you provide, were you here during the hearing, the
The case review?
Yes, sir.
case review? Did you provide those documents to us during the case review so they can be added to the investigation?
What does it matter? I don't understand. Is this bureaucracy?
I presented them as any administrative law hearing would allow for in advance of the hearing so that all parties could be provided copies and no one would be able to object to me offering them and having them entered as exhibits and made part of the record in this case.
Is this
So
bureaucracy?
you provided those documents at that time?
Yes, they are date stamped right here from the IPR's office.
I don't know.
Now, I think
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Rivera. Could you be more specific?
Please make the case file review.
All right, so not the last time you were here, the time before you were here,
October 7th, I was here.
we did a case review of the whole file to see if it was complete. And that was the hearing at which we decided that we wanted to send it back to have the other civilians interviewed. That's the case review.
Having an accurate copy of the city policy should not be a burden to overcome for a city board. You should be able to ascertain which one is the current document, which one was the one in place at that point in time. I'm just banging my head against the wall. But these guys, this is now 373 days since the Tort Review Board asked for this review.
Point of order.
All right, thanks.
Point of order, please. Sorry, in your ordinance, section 3.21.160, hearing appeals, subsection labeled capital B.
No.
It says that This committee may receive any oral or written statements volunteered by the
Thank you,
complainant.
Mr. Handelman. We are going to continue on. So, to respond to you.
Is this a state of, is this controlled by OAR rule? Is this a state hearing or is this controlled by city code? Because state OAR specifically is what Mr. Handelman's referring to. What I would ordinarily be able to do, like I tried to do yesterday, like I tried to do again today, does anyone really know what's going on here? Or are we just making it up as we go along?
I can tell you're extremely frustrated. What we have to work with is, and we've received confirmation, I understand you disagree, that the directives we are looking at in forming our decision are the directives that were in operation when the event happened. And I know you disagree with that, but we are going to move on.
What was Mr. Handelman referring to?
I don't know. So, next step. This is the point at which we will discuss. Wait. The city attorney or the IPR directive comments and instructions on the standards of proof and identification of issues to be addressed.
I'll do it. At this hearing, the committee shall decide by majority vote whether the recommended finding of the police bureau is supported by the evidence. Portland City Code 3.21.160 defines supported by the evidence as a finding regarding a complaint is supported by the evidence when a reasonable person could make the finding in light of the evidence, whether or not the reviewing body agrees with the finding. There can be several reasonable findings based on a certain body of evidence. You may think that one of the findings is better than another of the potential reasonable findings. However, the question the CRC must answer is whether or not the city's employees